Actually, Bangladesh has been one of the location or one of the country that we have identified for us to touch on our agri-commodity international roadshow. So, as the Ministry of Planting Industries and Commodity, so we are on a road tour, global road tour, to go into countries to sort of update and bringing more information, the latest technology, the latest information, the latest development in the Ministry of Planting Industries and Commodities. So basically, in my ministry, there are 6 commodities that we take care of. Actually, palm oil, timber, rubber, and with cocoa, chocolate, pepper, and also one kind of jute we call kenaf in Malaysia. Yeah, so these are the 6 commodities. However, our top 3 commodities, of course, palm oil, rubber, and timber. So we come to Bangladesh is to see what is the industry outlook like at this point in time, because as you know that because of COVID, that it has been affected us. So it's been 2 years that movement was a bit slow, 2 years that we don't interact, 2 years that we don't really communicate. So, and then there's this border lockdown, from my side of the country and some other countries as well. And because of this, there is some kind of a slowdown in the total industry, in the total bilateral trade between countries and Malaysia as well. So for Bangladesh, we see that there is an increase of import with regards to our commodity, namely palm oil, timber, and rubber. So because of this, we feel that Bangladesh is a potential country for us to enhance our bilateral trade relationship on these 3 respective products especially. And we see that in December last year, between December last year and January this year, the import for palm oil is 13 times, 130% or 13 times more than December. So in December was about 2 million tons, and in January is 13 times more. So we see that we wanted to come here and find out what is the reason for the leap and what's the reason for the increase, and probably we see what are the potential that we can move with this palm oil in Bangladesh. And that goes the same with rubber. So there was a leap also in export of rubber, and there's the leap of export also on timber. Yeah. And in our meetings, we have met with the I met with the Prime Minister herself. I met with the Minister of Commerce. I met with the Minister of Finance just now, and Minister of Trade. And I met with the Malaysia-Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce. And I met with the industry players last night, all the different industry from rubber, timber, and palm oil, the players. And of course, there's some others as well. So from all this feedback, I understand that Bangladesh is opening up its economic policies, yeah. So because they are targeting to achieve the developed nation status in 2041. So with that, there are so many policies that is very friendly, business friendly, and it is worth injecting investment in Bangladesh. So we see that there is a cashback return policy by the government. We see there is a free tax, duty free policy from India, duty free policy from China, and we also see there is opening up of the 7 Sisters route to India, and also we see that there will be 101 economic zone is going to be developed. So these are the and also they enjoy the GSP of the EU. So these are the trade exemptions, trade duty free relief, and all these opportunities. And given that Bangladesh with 180 million population, and we see that it's worth coming in to bring investors to come to Bangladesh. So with regards to the industry of palm oil, timber, and rubber, we are proposing for Bangladesh to open up the downstream activities for this product, because for palm oil, the money is where the money is actually is the downstream activities. So for palm oil, not only they can do refining, but they can also do downstream products, developing products such as household detergents, household products, and some food products as well. And for rubber, also we are looking into they were thinking about whether Malaysia can support them in terms of transfer of technology and training them how to make their rubber product or rubber plantation to be more productive and to be of high level. That's for rubber. And they are also, Bangladesh is also trying to enhance or trying to boost up their footwear industry here. So where they would be in need of rubber from Malaysia. Latex, that one, rubber, yeah? Rubber latex. And there's some businesses for tire as well. So the other product that we see there's so much potential is the timber industry where furniture is concerned. So we listen to from the industry player that there's so many furniture companies that is mushrooming in Bangladesh. And our timber export also is quite positive or quite in a very increased mode. And we wanted to expand that further into exporting furniture itself, finished furnitures. And of course, there's some of the semi-finished products of timber. So to support the local furniture industry and the construction industry as well. So going by that, and we see that Bangladesh also is moving forward towards building homes for the people of Bangladesh, and we see that wood is an important element of housing finishings, and we wanted to incorporate that. And we met with some of these industry players in steel and glass, metal, steel and glass, where they are involved in construction as well, and this we would want them to also bring in together with them wood supply from Malaysia so that they can be a more complete supplier, the complete supply chain for housing or for construction industry. And having said that, also you are also going into much more into construction, infrastructure, road, highways, railway tracks. Yeah? So they are also in it with the rubber technology, what they call it, the seismic bearing, where they need the rubber cushioning so that to reduce the impact if there's any kind of accident prone or safety. So with this we feel that we are going to go back and bring this potential to Malaysia, and we will meet up with our industry player in Malaysia and see these are the potential that Bangladesh offer. And I believe many of them would be keen to come into Bangladesh at this point in time, because to capture and to capitalize on the all this economic fiscal policy, where it's very business friendly and can attract these foreign investors, especially in Malaysia. And given that the living culture, the lifestyle of Bangladeshi and Malaysia is about similar, because we are Muslim country, both Bangladesh and Malaysia, and its adaptation of in terms of communication, in terms of work, I think it would be much simpler and faster, and this progress can be done in a speedier manner. So this basically is my trip to this Bangladesh to see what are the near potential that we can move on. And this is part of our agri-commodity roadshow global, and to strengthen our presence in the South Asian countries, because this is my third lap to UK, Dubai, and also Jeddah, and I've gone to Iran, and before Bangladesh I was in India. So this is one of the lab that I'm covering, show that our commodity, especially palm oil of Malaysia, make its presence dominant, to show its dominance in this global presence in the South Asia area. And also we want to make sure that we are the leading edible oil for Bangladesh. And also at this point in time, the Ukraine war, as you all are aware, this also caused soya oil not being able to be sunflower to be exported, and with Indonesia biofuel policy that they're going to reduce 8 million metric ton of export, and therefore Malaysia has to capitalize on this situation and to increase our export. Thank you.
This January?
Yes.
I mean, 2 months or 1 month?
2 months.
2 months.
Between December and January, there was a leap of 13 times.
13 times.
Yeah.
Have you any figure? I mean, the commodities you are supervising?
Total billion. 1.5 at this point in time.
And your import from Bangladesh?
Our import from Bangladesh is about, I think, 800,000.
800,000?
Yes.
And the manpower?
Again?
And the manpower?
No, the manpower is not included because for the past 2
I'm
years.
joking.
Okay.
Fine. What about your industry covering the number of manpower? I mean, the number of Bangladeshi workers in your sector? I mean, rubber, timber, and
Yes. 500,000 workers, manpower, but not only in Bangladesh. These a few countries, right? In total, for the industry.
The share of Bangladesh?
The share of Bangladesh is about, I think, 200,000.
200,000.
1,200,000 or 500?
Total is 500, but Bangladesh share is about 200,000.
So what is their contribution to you? I mean, what is your assessment about the quality of our workers in Bangladesh, in Malaysia?
Yeah, at this point in time, because we have stopped for 2 years, remember, and we started to get for, I think, how many years? We started to take the Bangladeshi workers to Malaysia, and then we stopped for 2 years for some reason and after that we had another 2 years of COVID, so it's a long time gap, So we just could not, because it was at the initial stage when we opened up to Bangladesh. So it's a very initial stage for us to gauge the kind of standards. But of course, in terms of language, is a bit of a barrier because they don't speak Bahasa or they don't speak English. So they speak Bangladeshi language, and I think they are also coming from the rural areas, these are the things. But however, I want to make sure that
A lot of Bangladeshis, workers.
Yes.
What is your assessment of their quality as a worker?
So Bangladesh for plantation,
For
for plantation. Basically, they are loyal workers and they're hardworking. Yeah.
So, Excellency, you met with some policymakers of Bangladesh as well as the business community. So, what are the messages you got from them? Will the bilateral trade will increase?
Yes, the message I got from them that is come to Bangladesh. There's so much tax reliefs and incentives, and it's good time for Malaysia to come in, and they will feel comfortable with countries like Malaysia, investors from Malaysia to come in because of the similarity of culture and religion and the kind of things. So dealing with the Malaysian business sector.
So mainly you talked about the forward linkage industries.
Forward?
Setting up forward linkage industries here. I mean, forward linkage means the
Foreign linkage.
basic products from the plantation commodities, timber, rubber, or palm oil, and the processing. I mean, what you are looking for, so far we understand that you are focusing on establishing forward linkage industries, the commodity from rubber, Malaysian rubber, Malaysian wood. I mean, you're talking about
And they can do some collaboration, a partnership. The finance minister, and in fact, there's some of the businesses was offering that they have lands, so it could be a collaboration of the government or the business sector providing land, and we come in with our investment and technology transfer and that kind of thing.
Have you made any specific proposal, or have any Malaysian company offered any specific offer in terms of investment?
Not yet. We are going back and to see what is the possibility. But I think the industry in Malaysia is ready to go out of Malaysia to build more, because the downstream industries is still quite young, at infant stage. So we only have about, in Malaysia, how many the downstream?
Refineries we have more around 60.
60. Refineries we have 60, but the downstream only about 2 or 3.
Around 15.
Around 15. But our overseas investment in Indonesia only so far, we have 2 or 3, right?
We have in Cairo.
So the Indonesia is 2 or 3, right? Oleochemical.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 2 or 3, so not much. So therefore, with the expertise that we have in Malaysia, so they are ready to expand their oleochemical or downstream activities in other countries as well.
What about that international show? Have you fixed any schedule for that?
International show,
You were talking about
exhibitions. Yeah, we are going to have one agri-commodity exhibitions in June.
June this year?
June this year.
In
So we're going in KL, Kuala Lumpur.
KL.
So we invite all the relevant nations who are into this commodity that I mentioned just now to come and have a better view of the products, have a better view of the companies, and you can have some discussions, and they can tie up with the companies that's from the Malaysian side.
Madam Minister, thank you for coming to Bangladesh, and especially thank you, the High Commissioner, for arranging such an important press meetings. Thank you so much.
Okay, as for the potential for Bangladesh businessmen, textiles is something that is number one export, and you have a lot of access to that. So I think it is a product that can be exported to Malaysia, and it's something that we can work on. So other than the textiles, yeah, footwear. Huh?
With the
Too, leather products and about the labor issue. Resource Ministry of Malaysia and the employment, whatever employment. What's his? No, the minister that's in charge of that. Ministry of Expatriates, Ministry of, yeah, Imran. Ministry of Expatriates and something like, and overseas employees. Overseas employment. Okay, yeah. So there is the memorandum is between our Ministry of Human Resource and Mr. Imran, Honorable Imran. So it has nothing to do with me as the Ministry of Plantation. To see that industry is in terms of the labor force, yeah, in terms of the labor force, wherever they come from, because the MOU that's being signed between Malaysia and Bangladesh, they are open to 14 countries. So wherever they come from, our plantation industries, my ministry commodity is concerned, is to provide a good living conditions, to provide a good living situation, to provide a good service or good to take care of their well-being and their welfare, and to make sure that they have a comfortable living in Malaysia. So that is my concern, because we want to give them the best when they are in Malaysia, and of course in terms of the sectors of the migrant workers. So they are a bit high in terms of paying the salary to these people.
What steps have you taken to stop the abuses? We often heard about labor abuses in your industry.
So I think these abuses, we don't really have that in the plantation industries. There's not much happening actually when it comes to this abuse of manpower and all those things. So we don't have much reports on that.
Is there any rules to punish the abuse?
In any countries, whoever do wrong, there must be a law to it. So it's the same in Bangladesh. If whoever do wrong, so they must be penalized. Yeah.
There are allegations that often you take side of the employer, I mean the Malaysian employers, not the workers, the overseas workers, when they were abused. There are a lot of allegations, a lot of reports. You can say that nowadays this is improving, but there are reports.
Yeah, like I said, it is not happening in the plantation industry. So I wanted to go into the purview of the Ministry of Human Resource, and the one of it is that there's supposed to be a joint committee and discuss. Maybe, yeah,